So, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time of the year yet again when children of all ages, well-behaved children, receive gifts. Now, Santa has decided to reward I don't know what he has decided to reward me with or why, but I received a package of sorts which contained a Lumix GF6, an extra original Lumix battery, a 14 to 42 kit lens, a modest lens, but a lens nonetheless, and an ND filter, and all for the princely sum of £40, or about 47 euros or thereabouts. If you want it in dollars, I would say about $55. Now, how, you might be wondering, was I able to snag this quite generous package with such a low amount of money? And the answer is, well, I don't really know myself. So before you jump to any conclusions, I must admit that this package, I paid to the seller only £40, but in total with shipping and taxes, I got to about £70 or so, which is still a great price for what I would consider a pretty spec'd micro four thirds camera. A compact camera. It might rival old point-and-shoot cameras, but it's nice, it's compact, it's stealthy, if you will. It blends in with any environment. It's perfect for tourist types, and well, it has a few imperfections along the chassis, which I will show you right now. So a bit of a scuff here in the corner, some additional wear and tear on top on this chromed silvery finish. By the way, this camera is all plastic, fantastic, but it feels nice to the touch nonetheless. Fit and finish is actually pretty good. A bit of squeaking, but nothing too worrisome, not too much to worry about in terms of reliability and ease of use, and well, you know, ruggedness and dependability of such a camera. Let me just wipe it off a bit. So the story is quite simple. The bidding started from £45, and it was a new bid. It just had started and it was supposed to go for a week or so, but the seller also mentioned he will accept offers, and he specifically had written that decent offers will be taken into consideration, so nothing over the top, no lowballing, no stuff like that. So the starting bid was about £45, and I decided not to be greedy and to try my best to anger or to offend the seller. So I said, let's offer £40 for the whole package and see what the response was. Seeing this camera, I was prepared to pay up to £60 or so and to bid, but I decided to go against that and just see what happens, nothing to lose. And to my surprise, really, the seller accepted the offer immediately, so I jumped on it and just paid the guy instantly. And well, you can understand that it is actually an excellent deal, and really this camera is a steal at £40. It's even worth £40 if it didn't have this lens, but with the lens included in the package, it's actually an incredible deal. Now let me just turn it on and show you its party piece, because I'm not going to go too much into details about what this camera can do, and I'm not going to try to test it, but the main thing that you can see here is the screen the tilting screen, let me just see if I can focus here. I'm going to try to focus on the phone and see whether we can get a good image. Yeah, I'm there. So right now it's set on intelligent auto. Look, there we go. The lens is correctly adjusted for the focus. Let me just try to do more adjusting. There we go. So yeah, I can see you very well, and a pretty decent image. I'll try to take some photos with this GF6, and I shall be comparing it with the Lumix GF5, the 14mm pancake lens, and well, we shall see whether this GF5 is an improvement. I also have an additional GF5 with a 12 to 32 Lumix pancake lens, but this one sadly is not a functioning unit, and this is a Japanese language only menu. So out of the 3 cameras that you see in front of you here, actually only the GF6 is functioning, and would you look at this beautiful tilting and also telescoping screen. Now I'm going to go on a limb here and provide you with some preliminary conclusions with this camera, and the most important thing you can say about it that it has this beautiful tilting and swiveling screen. Doesn't go on the side, but it turns itself on top like so, and this provides quite a lot of versatility in terms of camera usage, and well, it makes it much easier for beginner photo enthusiasts to use it for hobby related activities. Now obviously I wouldn't go pro with this, and I'll show you some pictures right now, and it's not something that's really relevant in 2025, or rather 2026, but compared to the previous GF5, I think that addition of the tilting screen is a much added bonus, and a well expected and deserved one in this segment anyway. Now, of course, you would go from here and consider having embodied image stabilization, which I believe this GF6 does not have. It also doesn't provide with the 4K resolution video recording. You cannot attach an external microphone, so there are a lot of shortcomings when it comes to features of this camera. But for about £40 or so, even as a standalone model, this is actually a great little camera. What I plan to do with it is, well, sell it on for a small profit. Now I'm a bit optimistic, and I want to get about £90 for it, and an additional £60 to £70 on the lens or so, with also the ND filter. I hope it will provide me an additional £20. So all in all, I am planning to double my investment in this camera lens combo, but I will do so separately, so I will not sell them as a package. So I'm planning to get, let me think, around 140 to 160 pounds all in all, which actually it's not a bad deal if you consider it. So I don't know, do you think it's do you think it's correct of me? Is that I don't know. So I don't know, leave your thoughts and impressions. Do you think that's a moral thing to do? Do you think it's wrong for me to profit small amounts of money off these purchases. I'm going to continue to do it for as long as I can, since this YouTube endeavor will never bring me money, or at least not into the foreseeable future. And since I am a tech hoarder of all sorts of varieties and sizes, it's clear I'm not going to stop buying and selling tech as a means to support my addiction and really to keep it under control. So I guess this is as good a time as any to remind you that I buy, hoard, and collect weird and quirky obsolete tech stuff, but sometimes I make money off camera transactions, so you don't have to. Thanks for watching, and I shall see you in the next one.